Hello, welcome to my assembly area. I'm starting out with the two major U-shaped pieces, which are labeled B. Uh, Unfortunately, they are also labeled front and back. For example, it says front down there. Well, that's the back. You can't count on them doing things right. So you want these things to be lined up so that they really line up. And the best thing to start with is to put the cross pieces on. You just put the lower, shorter bolt on, and I've found that by doing the first two separately, it becomes a little bit easier to balance things in order to put the cross piece into the opposite side. And you can see I've got two chairs in front of me. I found that they're kind of useful ones I've already done for leaning things against as I do things, because I run out of hands and feet and knees to keep things, fingers, to keep things where they belong, and at the same time screw nuts and bolts together. Do leave all of the nuts and bolts together. Just started, just the nut part way on, but wobbly. The reason is that at a much later state, you're going to be putting this cross piece in up here. And if you've tightened everything up, it's damn near impossible to get that thing in. So what you'll be doing later is having a sort of a loose jumble of parts. You'll put the cross piece D in, and at that point you start the final tightening of the nuts to get everything together. So the next thing I'll do is to finish the assembly of the cross pieces. You can see I've got the first cross piece on at both ends, and the front cross piece has yet to be finished. That's the next thing I'll do. But also notice that it's kind of handy to have those two chairs in front of it that I could lean one of the arms on while I worked with the screws in the back. I'll be flipping it around to finish it up. Okay, I'm farther along, beginning to look a little bit like a chair. It will be facing me. There was a little bit longer a gap for me to do it because you go through the lower of the two holes on each side of the arm, and you should go through the same hole in the bar that goes across. And I got a little mixed up, and I put them on the wrong side of actually both of the bars, so I had to take them off and put them on again. The way they naturally hang right now is not how they will be later. They will both be faced upward, and like that, and the side pieces for the chair will be attached at that point with the longer screws. There won't be nuts for that because the nuts are welded into the side piece of the chair, and that's the back and the side piece, and that's what I'll be putting in next. Now the fabric chair seat part is visible. The high end of the chair are pointing toward the previously assembled chair, and the low ends are toward me. I've found it's a little bit easier to start with the front nuts rather than the rear ones in doing this stage of the assembly. So here I'll be using 4 nuts, 1 bolts, one coming through here, one back there, other back there, other over there, going into nuts that are welded into the frame. Okay, the first one is in, screwed in with the Allen wrench that I dropped, and really just into the nut, way loose. Gives you a lot more flexibility in lining up nuts and bolts and getting them together. And also, you only want to tighten everything at the very end because of the cross piece. But it's also useful to leave everything loose because it's easier to get the bolts attached to the nuts. Okay, I'll go on to the other side now over here and do the other side of the front and then the 2 rear ones. Remember, at this stage, you've rotated the cross piece up so that the bolt is going through the frame, through the top piece of the hole in the cross piece, and then into the fixed nut in the chair. And that's the pattern on the next 3 pieces of assembly to be done. Working from this side seemed to work better for getting the second side in. There's tension across the seat, pulling it away. Plus, you have to get everything sort of flat and lined up. Notice I didn't get the bolts very far through the nut, because the next step is to upright the chair and put another cross piece in across the top. At this point, everything is pretty wobbly, which makes it easy to put the cross piece in. The first one just goes into a hole, and the second one has a screw on it, but doesn't seem to screw into anything. It's really the tightening of all of the other bolts that causes this to fix into place. So everything's tightened up. The back piece is nice and firm. Chair's ready to be used. Took about 45 minutes. Probably saved $100 to $150 over the equivalent garden store chairs. What they will have is welded together frames at these points where things are screwed together. But I think this is going to last fine. And by having it be, do-it-yourself assembly, they can put the parts in a flat, very heavy box to be sold on Amazon. Thank you.